gal on the scene. You can't give me what I want, but something, I don't know. Woo! Hey, May with Unbasic Black. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing okay, staying safe, enjoying life. Yeah. Today, girl, today, talking about going to the club when you're middle aged. Okay. So, um, I didn't start really going out until my late 30s. I missed all of that. I got married young, and I went to church a lot, so I did not partake in any of the club scene. Like in high school, I went to as many dances as I could, but as an adult going to clubbing, nah, I didn't do that until 37 is when I started clubbing. Um, so by then I was probably technically the old woman in the club, but I look good doing it. So I'm gonna say, when is it too old for you to be out there in the club? Now, come on. Now I used to go when I did go. I don't have the opportunity as much now here, but I'm working on it. I'm just saying. Um, so I used when I did go, I would see like old men in there, and of course they could afford tables. So and this is in Vegas. They could afford tables. So you see this old dude with these little Barbies on his arm and stuff like that, and he's not necessarily dancing, but he's in there. Every now and then you'll see somebody dancing. You'll see a couple in there dancing and stuff, and I used to like pick at the old men, like the old men in the club. And then I had a friend. He liked to dance, and he said that's totally gonna be me. I'm gonna be that old man in the club trying to dance with them young girls and stuff like that. I was like, man, I'll probably be the old woman in the club too, because firstly, I like to dance, so that's why I would be there. I wouldn't necessarily be there trying to hook up with anybody. I'm just trying to dance because I like to dance, as you saw from the video, the little bit before my talk here. So, but is there a certain age when you really need to just hang it up? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there is like I'm 50. So, do I really need to be in the club? But that's the only place where I'm really gonna. It's fun for me to dance with people. So like with a crowd of people around and we're all together, that's fun for me. Um, it would be nice if it were if there was, and I'm sure I just haven't found them yet, but places where. Okay, let me stop. Let me just go back a little bit. So last weekend I went out, and and it was nice to be out. It was a live band. They were doing cover music from the 80s, so that was my total genre of music. And it was good, but no one danced. They all just sat there. And I'm like, these people are performing their hearts out and nobody's dancing. I'm at the bar, which is my part of my happy place. I'm at the bar and I'm dancing in my seat at first, and then I stood up to dance because I didn't want to go out and dance in front of a whole bunch of people. So I stayed at the bar and danced. But I'm like, man, maybe if I'd have started it, somebody would have joined me. I don't know. But so is there places like and I talked with Angel about it, and she's like, that's just that culture. They just like to go and sit and listen to the music. And there are places where like at lounges and stuff like that. I don't mind that part, but for me, when the music moves you, get up kind of thing. Um, will there be an age for me when I don't get up? Now, I will tell you that my back, my hip, my knees, they all tell my age, right? But sometimes I'll feel good enough to where I can take it, I can make it, and I'll get up and I'll go and I'll move around a bit like you saw. I was moving around a bit, And I got a little winded, but that's okay. I'm getting back in shape. Remember my healthy journey. So I'm getting back into shape. Can I see myself in my 60s and 70s in the club? If there is a club, probably for people in their 60s and 70s. Now, I know like I don't want to generalize and say the entire Latin community, but in the Latin community, the when I would go to Latin nights, I would see a gambit of ages, like from you can have to be 21. So like from 21 up to I don't know, they look old, so maybe 81, 91 years old. And those old couples were in there getting it. The husband or boyfriend or whatever he is, spinning his woman around, and they're dancing and they're doing the shimmy and all that kind of stuff. They're killing it. And I couldn't tell if anybody blinked an eye or anything, and I'm just sitting there mesmerized that they're still dancing like that, and they're dancing together, which was really cool. So, I don't know, maybe there's just a stigma? I'm kind of just throwing some things out here. So really, you're going to have to comment and let us know, like, what age do you think people ought to stay home and stop trying to be young? Because I don't consider myself trying to be young when I dress up and I go out and I go dancing. I don't consider that me trying to be young. I consider that me going out to have a good time. And I think about like groups like the Rolling Stones. Kind of feel like they should have retired a long time ago, but they can still do it, and people still want to see them. So, okay. And that's kind of where I am. I remember one New Year's Eve, and hopefully I'm not rambling or anything, but I remember one New Year's Eve in Vegas. Went to a New Year's Eve party at a hotel, and there was this lady. I'm certain that she was in her 60s. This woman could drop down, and I mean drop, and do that single ladies drop with the leg out to the side, and they come back up, and they should do it again. I'm like, you're just showing off, because I could not do that. And at that time, I was in my 40s. I think I was in my 40s then. So, which wasn't very long ago. That's 2 years now. A year ago. Last year, I was in my 40s. At any rate, so she could still do it. So, do we tell her to go home and don't do it? Or do we encourage her to keep going as long as she can? Food for thought. Or is it food for thought? Is that a no-brainer? Like, no, stay your old behind home, or go hang out with other old people. Don't come around young people. What you doing out there with them? And like I said, I'm dancing. I just want to dance. I just want to dance with the. Now I had to learn to wear earplugs because the music is way too loud, and there's ringing in my ears when it's all over. But there was ringing in my ears when I was young too. I was just silly to not think about my hearing as much. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I know you lose some hearing as you get older, but I don't want to be deaf by the time I'm 70. So I started wearing earplugs to drown out some of that noise, because sometimes, oh my gosh, that treble would just get in there and like. So old people in the club. I honestly think that's probably going to be me. Now, it would be me up to a certain time, I think, because I used to go to the Blue Martini a lot. Once they had segments, so there would be they had like a soul night. So from 7:30, 8 o'clock until about 11 or so, it was the music that I liked. And then after that, you could see the demographic change, and it was and there were people of all ages there, but it was an older crowd because of the type of music that they played. And then after a certain time, you start noticing the crowd get younger and younger, and the clothing gets less and less. and and then at that point you're like, okay, yeah, that's my cue. And the music changes too, and it becomes music that I don't want to dance to that. That's just not, that's just my thing. So maybe I won't be the old woman in that club, but I'll be an old woman in a club kind of thing. And I could deal with that. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I am curious as to whether or not you think there's an age limit on clubbing, because I really think that if I could hopefully once the pandemic is declared over, and because they're opening things back up now, get out there and start finding places to go dance, because I just really enjoy dancing, and it's good fitness too. So I have an exercise. I watch Fit Body by Ashley. I do Fit Body by Ashley a lot, and that's how I get the bulk of my dancing in. Excuse me, during the week. So, but I want to get my groove on the weekend. And then you can hear my music, right? Ow! I lay me down to sleep. Ooh. Good times. Good times. I enjoy it. So, and hopefully I will up until my dying day, maybe. Because I just like to move. And the trippy part is going to be the music, right? So the music that we listen to stays with us. So if you watch, I've seen videos, in particular, like with the couples, the baby boomers, a lot of their music seem to be geared towards like couple dancing. So you'll see videos of these older couples still dancing, but they're dancing to the music that they grew up on and that they like. So the music I grew up on is nothing like big band music or any of that stuff. So it's gonna follow me, and if Salt and Pepper comes on, am I supposed to just sit down because I'm 75? Nah, I ain't gonna sit down. I'm getting up. Me and the grandkids, chilling. Got that from my uncle. Only to have them look at me like, Grandma, God, you're embarrassing us. Come on. Sit down, Grandma. Sit down. Nah, baby, let's go. Do it. Yeah. Grandma, you're embarrassing me. Like, subscribe. Oh, and do you notice? Look at these. And bling, 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 bling. Alexi Jewelry, people. Alexi Jewelry. One of a kind. There is not another pair like it. You won't find it. You can look. You'll see pictures. But that's about it. Y'all have a good night. Party on, dude.